Welcome, this is Ameco and you're watching our daily updates live from Bahar Dar, Ethiopia. I am Galila Damu, stay tuned. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has held discussion with leaders of the Ethiopian Islamic Affairs Supreme Council and fathers from various regions on pertinent issues. The Premier wrote on his Facebook page that he engaged in discussions with leaders of the Ethiopian Islamic Affairs Supreme Council and fathers from various regions on pertinent issues. Recall that the Prime Minister has been conducting discussions with community representatives from across the country in recent weeks. Foreign Minister Taye Asqeselase said the decision to construct a new building demonstrated Switzerland's determination to further strengthen its long-term relationship with Ethiopia. Modomliye has more on it.
Ethiopian Foreign Minister Taye Asqeselase and his Swiss counterpart Ignazio Cassis have laid a cornerstone for the construction of the new embassy of Switzerland in Addis Ababa. At the cornerstone laying ceremony, Foreign Minister Taye Asqeselase said that the Ethiopian government has attached strong significance to the relationship with Switzerland.
It is my distinct pleasure to be part of this groundbreaking ceremony. And I was stunned to realize that the new building has indeed a mix of architectural concepts. And I'm happy to note that it will have a footprint of one of the most outstanding historical houses somewhere in the northern Addis Ababa, a palace called Sheikh Hojale Palace.
Taye reiterated that the decision to construct a new building signals Switzerland's determination to further strengthen its long-term relationship with Ethiopia. The Foreign Minister of Switzerland, Ignazio Cassis, said on his part that the construction of a new embassy is a manifestation of what importance Switzerland attaches to Ethiopia.
We are very proud that we are able to mark this moment by a new building. Investing in new country in Ethiopia, in Addis Ababa, it's an important evidence of the willingness to strengthen our relation. So I'm really glad to join the staff of our representation, of our embassy, of our Bureau of Cooperation and all of our collaborators working here for this very special moment.
Foreign Minister Taye Asqeselase added that the construction of a new structure is a practical demonstration of Addis Ababa as a diplomatic hub.
State Minister of Foreign Affairs Burtukan Ayanu met with the U.S. Assistant Secretary for the Bureau of Population, Refugees and Migration, Julieta Volsnois. Vivandalnessa tells us more.
During the meeting, Burtukan shared insights on Ethiopia's collaboration with U.S. on education, refugees, climate change and international cooperation. Burtukan also emphasized the country's dedication to refugees' welfare, noting the support extended to over 1 million refugees through housing, food and other necessities. The U.S. Assistant Secretary for the Bureau of Population, Refugees and Migration, Julieta Volsnois, highlighted Ethiopia's commendable role in accepting and hosting migrants from various countries, providing them with employment and ensuring their access to essential economic and social services. Burtukan applauded Ethiopia for its implementation of the refugee law framework and its commitment to international migration issues. On the other hand, Burtukan stressed the importance of global cooperation to protect the human rights of refugees affected by man-made and natural disasters. Assistant Secretary Nois also commended Ethiopia for its efforts in providing sustainable solutions to the global refugee crisis and confirmed the U.S. government's support for these initiatives.
Deputy Secretary General of Ethiopian National Commission for UNESCO, Alemu Getaun, said that proper utilization of media and further consolidated tie between the Commission and National Heritage Institution is vital to preserve heritage in Ethiopia. And Netanyahu has the details.
Most of people in the world know Ethiopia, tourists were coming to the country in order to visit colorful Ethiopian heritages.
In an exclusive interview, Amhara Media Corporation held with Deputy Secretary General of European National Commission for UNESCO, Ameco Town, said that as a world, there are 10 criteria to nominate or register cultural or natural heritage that have social, political, and economic significance. Ameco emphasized that media plays a super important role in the effort to magnify the tourism resource that the country has.
We have a gap in order to communicate with international media in order to announce or creating great awareness on our heritage as a world. Of course, we will do on such like things with Ministry of Culture, Authority of Conservation and Research of Heritage, and such concerned ministers or institutions. Simply anyone can get, of course, in videos, in documents, in audio, and such like this by simply Googling Ethiopian heritage site. We have a gap in order to announce for the world on international media, in order to introduce our heritage for the world community.
The Deputy Secretary General, having stated the limitation on the preservance of registered heritage like Lalibela and 5 other biosphere reserves, including Lake Tana, the connection among the Commission, Ministry of Tourism, and Heritage Institution of the country further assures preservance of the heritage and objective reality of UNESCO mission.
Administrative area of the heritage, for example, Lalibela, and again in Tana around, not only that. As a nation, as a country in Ethiopia, there are many and biosphere reserves, about 5 reserves in the country. There is Yayu, Majang in Gambela, and Shaka, Kappa, and such like things. These all are inscribed in World Heritage Site. The first one should be taken as a measurement, communicating with neighborhood at heritage site in order to engage in protecting or preserving such a type of colorful heritages as that has its own benefits, economical, social, and other benefits of their surroundings and such like things. And then we are trying to communicate with the governmental bodies as a country.
National Commission of UNESCO in Ethiopia has its role in 5 major programs on education, culture, science, and press freedom.
The newly appointed Kenyan ambassador to Ethiopia, George Wanya, said the 2 East African nations have been solidifying their long-standing relationship and broadening cooperation in various fields. Brown Worknet tells us more.
Approached by Ethiopian news agency shortly after presenting his credential to President Sahle-Work Zewde on Friday, the ambassador reaffirmed his country's commitment to reinforce the multifaceted ties with Ethiopia. Highlighting historical relationship between Ethiopia and Kenya, the ambassador stated that the countries have an excellent relationship that goes back to many decades. Over the years, Ethiopia and Kenya have fostered a robust partnership evidenced by numerous cooperation agreements encompassing education, healthcare, transportation, and in other sectors, he pointed out. Ambassador Kewane noted that this strong bond is further solidified by the Special Status Agreement signed in 2012. To further expand the horizons of their ties, the ambassador elaborated that Ethiopia and Kenya have been exploring avenues including exchange of high-level visits by their leaders. Kawania also cited the frequent visits by the Kenyan President William Ruto to Addis Ababa and reciprocal visits by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed to Nairobi, Kenya, that proves the relationship between the 2 countries is bearing fruit. Most notably, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's recent state visit to Kenya serves as a prime example of this enduring partnership. Speaking about the recent Ethio-Kenyan Joint Ministerial Commission meeting, which was held last month in Addis Ababa, Ambassador Kaiwane revealed that the meeting has further solidified those commitments through the signing of several new bilateral agreements. Ambassador Kaiwane stressed that we are hopeful that these agreements will ensure the commitments to be effectively implemented. Ambassador Kawania also mentioned those identified areas include energy, transportation, agriculture, industry and tourism in order to intensify cooperation between Ethiopia and Kenya.
We are going to work together to ensure that the commitments that we made during that period will be taken forward and implemented.
On his part, the Director General of African Affairs at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Fisaha Shaul, stressed the need for strengthening of the Ethio-Kenyan relationship.
U.S. Global AIDS Coordinator and Senior Bureau Official for Global Health Security and Diplomacy for Health, Ambassador John Kengasong, announced the approval of the 111 million USD Country Operational Plan 2023. Brown Gizmo tells us more.
According to the U.S. Embassy in Addis Ababa, the financial support has come through the U.S. President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief Program to support Ethiopia's continued response to end HIV/AIDS as a public health threat by 2030. Ethiopian Minister of Health Dr. Mekdes Dabar, along with the U.S. Ambassador to Ethiopia, Ervin Masinga, attended the virtual event and gave remarks. It was learned that the COP23 Year 2 plan represents ongoing cooperation between PEPFAR and the Ministry of Health to develop joint programming to support the needs of people living with HIV in Ethiopia. The approval announced by Ambassador Kengasong ensures a continuation of this programming, which will ensure Ethiopia is on track to achieve epidemic control by 2030. The U.S. President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, with the Ministry of Health and various stakeholders, has designed a plan focused on closing gaps in HIV prevention, care and treatment for key populations, and addressing geographical disparities. The plan will prioritize improving HIV service in conflict-affected areas, enhancing case-finding strategies, and reaching vulnerable populations such as children, adolescents, and gender-based violence survivors. The embassy said that over the past 21 years, the U.S. President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief has invested approximately $3 billion to support the HIV/AIDS response in Ethiopia. PEPFAR's investment has helped strengthen the health system through workforce development, improved infrastructure to support HIV service, and supported the establishment of referral laboratories and a national health information system to address HIV.
That's all the news we have for today. I'm Gaila Damu. Thanks for watching and stay tuned with the rest of our programs.